but I do.
Yeah.
Este, and then the good thing about planet Earth is that no matter where you go on the planet, hay tejanos.
You know, that is the absolute truth. You know, you can go anywhere in this world, and if you put on Tejano music, a Tejano will find you, or a fan of the music will find you. I've been on the beaches of California with a speaker playing some conjunto music, and there's people that come by and be like, "Hey, man, where are you from?" "Well, I'm originally from Beeville, Texas." "Hey, man, I'm from the Valle, vato." And then, you know,
El
you
Viborón.
make a friend. El Viborón.
Viborón.
That's
You
it.
know, another story is that in the 70s when we used to play, the band moved, Little Joey La Familia, we all moved to San Jose and rented a big house, and we'd rehearse there and go play in Sacramento and San Jose and Salinas and all
And y'all
over.
would just rehearse at the house. That's it, right?
No,
Nothing else would happen at the house.
Nothing else happened there. You know, we were young and energetic, but nothing happened. You know, but we started playing the Berkeley Greek Theater, along with all the big names like the Grateful Dead and Tower of Power, Malo, Santana, and all of those. So when the first time we played, they introduced us, and we started with some of the English music that I had written for the Finally album, you know, just to fit in.
Right, right.
And then once we did a couple of songs, 2, 3, 4 songs, then Joe would tell the people, okay, here's what we really do. And we'd kick off con las nubes. And believe it or not, salían los tejanos from the, you know, thousands
From
of
the
people.
woodworks, it'd come
From
out.
the woodwork, thousands of people. Salían los tejanos, they'd start dancing. So the concert, teníamos gente de all over the world. You know, from Asia, from Europe, from everywhere. So they'd see los tejanos, and they'd get down there and start. So they started dancing.
They started
polkas,
dancing too?
the Tejano music, yeah. So yeah, gracias a Dios. If you go to Mars, just ask for a Tejano, and he'll be there. All right, mi primo. Simon, you know, and there's a lot of people there. El Viborón, de Beeville también.
Beeville, Texas. You from Beeville, Texas? Okay. All right.
McAllen.
What? McAllen. What? People that they say I lived in Beeville, I have to look at them porque you know what's in Beeville? There's nothing but prisons.
Oh, well, no, and I'll tell you what's in Beeville. There's a beautiful jet downtown in the courthouse.
Right on the courthouse. They sure do. There is a beautiful
A jet
it's
from
still
World
there.
War from World War II.
World
I
War
think.
II, yes, sir, and it's still there.
Yeah.
It's still there. Wow, you remember that. That's wild.
Well, you know, Beeville, en serio. Throughout the years, we played in many states and conventions and everything, and Hollywood Palladium and all this. But there were these special places for us that were really like home. When we went to Pecos, Texas, Tarilas, Pecos is known as Tarilas. It was like going home. Toda la Palomilla, all the guys that were striking con la Raza Unida, they were all our friends. And they taught us about the movement, and we marched con la Raza Unida. They taught me about our heritage, the Aztecs, the Toltecs, and the Mayans, and all of that. That was in Pecos. Then we go to Beeville, the Paradise Club, and then later they called it the Tropicana.
Yeah, Tropical, and now it's the Chickasaw.
Okay. Con el promotor era Mr. Peña, and his lovely wife, I forget her name. But going to Beeville was literally like going home. We knew everybody, El Señor Medina, the cleaners,
Yes.
one of the cleaners.
Yeah.
One of the guys, Henry Carrillo, joined us and went on the road for a lot of years as our manager, the door manager. So it was like family, and they all became literally like family to me.
I would attest to that because there's a family, y son bolillos, the Quins. I don't know if you ever met the Quins. They were huge fans of you guys, you and your brother, and they would travel all over the place, and they found the music because he was in the Navy, stationed there in Beeville, and became a fan of you guys, and he would travel all over the United States.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, la cultura. It's more than just music. It's a camaraderie. and it's a family thing. And the one thing I've always liked about, especially traveling when we were the Latineers and then becoming La Familia, you always go to the dances and you find a familia there with their kids, you know. And while the family's dancing and all, the kids are doing something, you know, having
Hey,
fun.
you weren't here yesterday, Johnny. We had the same conversation with the people here. I told the people, if you've never fallen asleep on 3 metal chairs underneath the mesa at a baile, you weren't brought up the right
You
way.
haven't lived.
You haven't lived, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
But
man.
that's what this culture is about, familia. And that when Joe changed the name to Little Joe y La Familia from Little Joe and the Latineers, it was a couple of reasons. And we were involved with Cesar Chavez and the farm workers. And by the way, I'm a cotton picker. We all my family, we're cotton pickers. And if you're born a cotton picker, you never leave it. You just do other things, you know.
But you're not from Robstown.
No, the Robe, no. I know about Robe. And we picked cotton in Mathis and Sinton and went to a dance in Robe. No, hombre, andaba la palomilla bronca allí, you know. So we know about that. But we were involved with Cesar Chavez, farm workers, and Las Nubes had come out. And Cesar adopted our recording of Las Nubes for the farm workers. And we were doing fundraisers for them. And Joe said, you know, we need to change the name to something more cultural because the struggle is not just with Chicanos, it's with Mexicanos. And Mexicanos son nuestra gente. Mi padre nació en San Luis Potosí. Mi madre nació en Cerritos, Aguascalientes. So, you know, so we got involved because we were cotton pickers and because we knew what the struggle was about. But then he went deeper and says, I'm going to call the Las Nubes, the double-headed eagle signifies me and Joe, because we were always singing duets, and us, Chicanos, Mexican-Americans, y México, Centroamérica, and Sudamérica, nuestra gente de otros países. But that's what made the change from the Latineers to La Familia.
La Familia. And, you know, Las Nubes, a lot of people don't know. That's, you brought it up a little bit, but that's considered, and it's still to this day, that is the Chicano national anthem.
It is. And I mean, I wear that as a badge of honor, of course. I'm very honored. And because we sing, Joe sings it, I sing it. We can't do a dance without singing Las Nubes. And it's not just a song. It's a message. It's a spiritual message. And the way I interpret it is simple. Este hombre va en el mundo beaten, ready to give up in life, ready to just die. Y Dios lo está viendo. And he tells the clouds, vayan, levanten agua fresca. Tráiganla and drop it down on the spirit, on the soul, not only to refresh his body, but to refresh his spirit and bring him out and give him a high and let him to keep going. That's what Las Nubes is about, man.
Wow. To hear you explain that to me right here, I'm glad I'm wearing glasses, and I'm glad you guys are sitting a ways away because you were making my eyes were getting sweaty.
Well, sometimes when I'm singing Las Nubes, I break up sometimes. I try not to. Hey, brother, how's it going? Mike Torres.
Mike Torres,
Yeah.
baby, right there.
We've performed together, recorded together. I recorded a song in his mother's honor, Díganle, because it's funny because he told me, my mother never listened to Tejano music. And then one day she got acquainted with Díganle, my recording, and she loved it. So after she passed away, there's my niece Christy over there.
Hi, Miss Christy, how you doing?
After his mother passed away, he asked me recently if I would do Díganle in honor of his mother and do it in a different style. And we did, and he's got it on an album. And it's a beautiful thing that, you know, that's the beautiful thing about this music, carnal. It's a family thing. It's a cultural thing. I have friends that come to my dances that started. I joined Little Joe in the Latin years in 1962, and some of the friends that God bless to have them around todavía, they still come to our dances. It's a lifelong thing, you know.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. And you're absolutely right. You know, I attend there in San Antonio. Un saludo to our good friend Pepsi Peña.
Oh yeah, Henry.
Henry Pepsi Peña, man. He puts on these tarriadas sometimes. And, you know, being in what we do, I all over the place doing festivals and bailes and, you know, with modern Tejano bands, you know what I mean?
Yeah, oh yeah.
But you go to these tarriadas, Johnny, let me tell you, every table full. Every table full, every seat full, that man sells out, and those people continue to dance and have a great time.
See,
man.
that has been going on forever. It's a tradition. It's a cultural thing. And Henry Pepsi Peña is a wonderful ambassador of our music, you know. So these are all the things that keep us going. Joe was here last night, and I'll be here tonight, and we'll be somewhere else next, you know, and we'll meet along the way somewhere, you know. But
and you guys get together and jam one?
oh yeah, we will, and we communicated. You know, we learn how to text. Eh? We know how to text. You know, so yeah. All of a sudden, I get a text from Joe. Alamo.
It's Joe.
Joe texts me?
He does. I text him quite often. He does text.
Yo de volada. Hey, ¿qué pasó? So, you know, we communicate a lot.
Johnny, you know, since you've been around for so many years and you've seen the industry change and so much, and you brought up texting, which in my head turns on a light bulb. You know, in the world that we live in now, social media. You know, back in the days when you guys were the Latineers, you started La Familia, back then it was telephone poles, poster boards, all the little tienditas, the corner stores.
Word of mouth?
A word of mouth,
word
the
of
radio
mouth.
stations, right? If you were lucky to have a radio station. But what's your take on what social media's done for music in general nowadays?
Well, it's incredible because they listen to your music worldwide, literally worldwide. And that's the thing, you know, when we started out as kids performing, our goal was to take our music as far as we could. And when we did the Berkeley Greek Theater, Chinese people came up to me and asked me questions about Tejano music, and there were Arabian people there and people from all over the world. And then our music went to Mexico in the 60s. And then in 91, I think, I went to Germany and performed out there. And then after that, Joe went to Japan. And Joe and Rocky went to Europe. So that is our goal, is to, you know, to show that we can be anywhere anybody else can be.
Well, you said the big word earlier, ambassador. And Little Joe and Johnny Hernandez were definitely ambassadors. They were some of the first groups to ever take our music over the pond into Europe, into Japan, into, you know, the Far East, where that's unheard of. That's unheard of.
But now, like you said, they can hear it every day because of, and there's nothing to replace terrestrial radio, you know, just like there's nothing to replace real music. Brother Jim, what's going on? That's my man right there.
Saludos to Mr. Jim Luna, Quarter Moon Productions.
No, excuse me. JL. I'm JH, and he's JL, and we talk on the phone about our oil companies and everything. Yes, sir, it's my man.
Wow, Dallas. That was from Dallas, no? JL and JR and all.
Roberto, we have Roberto here. Okay, and Nick, what are the Dallas? He's taking me to perform out there.
Dallas, Texas.
See, that's what I'm talking about, this music. It's a family affair. and you find your family everywhere you go. You know.
You're absolutely right, Johnny. I think what you and your brother have done. Have you ever just stopped to think about? It's a weird question. Have you ever just stopped to think about where you guys have taken, where you guys have taken our cultura? Just you and your brother. Where have y'all taken our cultura from outside the cotton fields, right? In Temple, Texas, and South Texas. You guys have taken something and made it. It's us. It's you are a big part of our upbringing and our cultura. Have you ever thought about that?
There's a lot of things that you look back on. I'm 80 years old now, and I feel wonderful. Gracias a Dios. You know.
What's the secret?
Well, one of the things, gracias a Dios, 1995, I met a friend of mine who was from the Piro tribe from New Mexico, one of the oldest tribes. The Piro and the Tiwa tribes and the Tewa, they're the oldest tribes. And he went to one of my concerts there in El Paso, and se hizo amigo, me invitó para su casa, which is, he was living in Oregon. Oregon is a little bitty, yeah, you know, right there next to Las Cruces. And the Oregon Mountains are there. Beautiful. So he invited me to do a sweat with the family, his family, and only tribal people can do the sweat unless you're invited in. And we all have Native American blood. So I said, yeah. I said, well, what do we do? He said, we're going to go in this igloo and you can pray. The best thing is to pray for other people. Anybody you know who's sick, pray for them. Anybody you know who needs help, pray for them. And then at the very end, you can say a little prayer for yourself, you know. So it was very hot. I mean, extreme. Your brows, your eyelashes, you can feel them hot. So we prayed. Everybody takes turn praying. And when it was my turn, I was last. I prayed for people. And then I had been wanting to get clean for a very long time, and I couldn't. And I had prayed and everything, and I couldn't. But I have a little bit of a petty blood in me. So maybe that was my place. So I prayed for everybody, and then I prayed to be clean of everything. So I walked out of there 29 years ago, and I'm 100% clean forever. Ever.
Wow.
You know.
Wow.
You know.
That deserves a standing ovation right there.
No, gracias.
Wow.
Gracias. New Mexico did that for me. And that's why I feel so jubilant and vibrant. And, you know, I've been performing 29 years, 100% clean. And it's more alive that way. The high is in the natural high of life. It's not in taking something. That's your high, you know.
Man, you're full of wisdom today, Johnny. Full of wisdom.
I'm very blessed, carnal.
How many Johnny Hernandez fans do we have in here? Y'all make some noise, man. That's awesome. You know, Johnny, I really love the fact that I get to sit down with legends like yourself and just well, I'm not going to say the word, and just shoot the you-know-what, right? Just hang out and get people to get to know a little side, a different side of you, you know what I mean? But you're living in California. If you guys just showed up a little bit late, you know, Johnny lives in California now. He left Texas, is in the rearview mirror, right?
Well, you never leave Texas, you know. Texas goes with you wherever you go.
That's right. And in case for all you people from outside the state of Texas, let me look over here, over there, over there. Oh, there it is. Just the guys let you know the one flag that's up hanging right there.
Oh, that little bitty thing over there? No, you really never leave Texas. It goes with you. And like I say, you meet in the where you least expect. Talent Tejano ahí oh, que el primo, y que, oh, yeah, you know. And everybody's related to everybody. So it's a beautiful thing. But there's nothing better in life than to meet other cultures and to learn other people's cultures, because it's the most beautiful thing. And that's why I love Chinese food. I love cheeseburgers. And I love frijoles y tortillas, because it's different cultures, and they're very rich. They enrich your life. That's what I'm trying to say. You know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, Johnny, you perform later on tonight, you know?
I will. We'll be on tonight, and I'm very happy to be with truly one of the best bands ever to come around. Viso, Mr. Robert Dorantes, and I've worked with them many years now, and I have a recording with them that we're going to do tonight, Madly. And of course, the fabulous Jay Perez, the voice, will be with us tonight.
Wow.
And I like to say that I prefer to hear singers that intimidate me, because you better get up and do your thing. And let me tell you, Jay Perez intimidates singers. So he'll be there with us tonight. I wanted to share a little something with everybody. That I've always done Tejano music and English music, you know. And this coming week, I'm going to finalize the deal where I wrote this cruising song for lowriders and cruisers. And I have a major label that's going to pick it up. And con el favor de Dios, this coming week, everything's said yes, we just need to sign papers.
Right, right.
So it's called Down on the Boulevard. So when you guys go cruising and you hear it, you know, give me a yay.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's give Johnny a yay right now. Johnny, thank you so much, man, for coming up here, hanging out with us. If you guys don't know, he's got some merch over here. He's signing autographs and stuff right over here, right?
There's Valentina over there. She's got her CD in mine as well.
She's over here waving.
So right there.
So if you guys want to go by and take a picture of Johnny, he's going to be there. Again, Johnny,
thank you
so much, sir.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, the legendary Mr. Johnny Hernandez.